It is simply not my desire, my dream, my plan to just point things out and have you say, oh, it's my dream and desire and plan to motivate you into a call to action where you are mobilized with new information, with new thinking. You don't just sit there and say, oh, I know something that's new. Did you know the derivation and the etymology, the teleology of Super Bowl esque forms of a team and tribal competition? Do you recognize that? Well, I know that. Okay, good. Now that you know it, what happens? Nothing. Unless you go out and tell somebody about it, doesn't mean anything. So what? I want everybody here, everybody, to make sure you have your own Twitter account, X account, where you can go and you can directly comment. You can talk to people. Now, granted, you might be one of a million people, but if you see something, you can say something. You can. It sounds like the old subway thing. If you see something, say something. It's available to you right now. I can't say this enough. You can go to anybody, Madonna, Macron, anyone. Granted, this is how we used to send a letter to the editor. We used to write. This is it. But yet, so many people are so goddamn lazy. They don't do anything. They just sit back and they say, well, I don't know. No, 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 no. If you are not going to be involved in this, go to the back of the line. We don't need you. We need active people who are insatiable, who are unquenchable in terms of the information that they know. That's what's monumentally critical. And also, you've got to engage. You just don't sit back, and you have to understand what's happening, and you have to go out and be an ambassador of truth. You got to tell people. You've got to tell your friends. We are sloth-like. We are the only way that cancer becomes dangerous is if it's metastatic. If it remains, kind of stage 1 in situ, and it's gonna that doesn't kill anything, which is good for the organism, but not good for the cancer. You want cancers and disease. You want it to spread, to be systemic. We're like a cancer. We're a cancer against this. What do you want to call it? New World Order, or I don't know. That word is so, and that phrase is so overdone. But you know what I'm talking about. And it's critical that you do something and get off your butt and do something, and do not merely sit back and just observe and make pithy comments and observations and say a word here or there. Oh, DARPA, that doesn't do any good. And what's also critical is to recognize what's happening and tell people. The Vietnam War was over when grandmothers and nuns and retired military joined forces to march in the street. That's what it was about. Not just hippies, not just Jane Fonda, but when people indicated there was a major crack in the facade. That's what it was. And that's what we're talking about today. How do you know we're winning? So please, my friends, I say to you right off the bat, I ask that you pay attention to what's going on, because remember, it is 268 days until the election. 268 days until the election. So please like the video, subscribe to the channel and all that stuff. But first, listen to our critical, our most important and beloved sponsor. Let me ask you a question. Have you taken a good look at the banks lately? On the surface, everything seems fine, but there's a whole lot more going on underneath. It's like looking under the hood of a car and finding a mess of broken wires and parts. And the parts are loans for homes and cars and those credit cards we all use. And they're hitting record highs. It's most frightening when you think about it. Why risk your money for a tiny 5% return when things are so shaky? This is where Noble Gold Investments can help. They're like that friend who knows all about keeping money safe. They suggest gold and silver, oldies but goodies in the financial world. Plus, they've got a sweet deal. a free quarter-ounce gold standard gold coin this month if you qualify. Pretty cool, all right? You better believe it. Now, if you're curious, just give them a call at 877-646-5347. It's just a chat. There's no pressure. They'll help you figure out if gold and silver are right for you. Or visit LionelNationGold.com and take the first step towards a safer financial future. LionelNationGold.com. And remember, there's always a risk of investment and there's no guarantee of any kind. All right, my friends, let's get down to business. There's something that we need to recognize. We have many fronts to our battle. You can pick something that's important to you. It might be war, it might be domestic, it might be the border, it might be culture, it might be the loss of spirituality, it might be Lionel merch available under the description section. It might be a lot of things. I see it as everything. There is a people, and I have said this before in case you've just tuned in, a we call that I refer to as the shadow government. This is the people, you call it this the New World Order or the deep state. I don't know what, but it's the people that really run the show. It's the people that really run the show. And rule number one, if you know a name, they're not in charge. If you know a name, if you can point to George Soros, Klaus Schwab, they're not involved. They're not involved. No. They're not the boss, so to speak. There were times when in the mafia, nobody knew who the boss was, but now we know who the boss is, and we know who these people are. We just know it. That's number one. Number two, we are looking at new levels and new platforms of information. Information and data are the currency of the 21st century. That's it. If people are going to stop smoking, why do you think that is? Because they just get tired of it? No, because they learn that it will kill you. And how do they learn that it will kill you? Information. If that information doesn't get out, they don't stop. They don't cease in dying. Does this make sense to you? So the information that is out there is step one. The information. If you don't know anything, if you really, literally don't know anything, I can't help it. Carl Weathers died. Atherosclerotic coronary artery disease. Most probably, absolutely reversible with diet. Reversible. Esselstyn said it. It's anyway. So nobody. Now, if you knew that, I could change. I could save more lives if people knew that, but they don't know that. And why? Why do you think that is? Why isn't there an effort on the part of medical society, medical groups, doctors, science? No. Food industries, beef industries, egg industries, dairy industries, medical industries, doctors are not going to put themselves out of business. Cancer is huge. It's not, no doctor is going to make money prescribing kale. They want to crack open your chest. At best, they want bypass. They want bypass surgery. They don't want you to lifestyle changes. They don't want that. Doctors will tell you all day long, we're trying to stop cancer. Drive around Memorial Sloan Kettering. It's a factory. Cancer pavilion, one radiation, this oncology, here research, here. I'm not saying they're part and parcel, but they make billions on cancer. And even though they're telling you, no, we want to stop cancer, we want to stop it, they don't want to stop the money. They don't. If there's no crime, there's no police unless there is no police. Remember this. Sometimes it doesn't work that way. If you don't allow the police to do their job, then the police aren't going to care about crime. Police used to say the more crime, the more job, the more we work. Not anymore. Today, the more crime, the more they're turned off. But that's a different story. I don't want to sidetrack you. Understand what's happening here. The moment you're aware of something, you change. The moment you are aware, the moment you're aware of something not necessarily good, but I think I was telling you last time, we're looking at these old days of, Capote's, Swans, and, all that stuff. And Babe Paley and CZ Guest and all this. And even though they might have had a little touch up here, you did not see that contorted, awful, disgusting, terrible plastic surgery, distorted big lips and the Botox and the... We were at an event the other night. Well, a while back. I got into the elevator. I've never seen this. And Mrs. L, we're sitting there very close. Remember this? And she turns to me. She goes, "This is so-and-so." And I went, There was a woman whose lips were so... It looked like she's seriously. It looks like she was a domestic violence victim. I swear to God. Now, that would not have been known. She would not have known that that's the new version of Beautiful unless media told him that. Okay. So what we need to do is you need to understand this. There is something that's happening right now. In this group called the shadow government, there are people involved who are the leaders of the disinformation, misinformation, and propaganda brigade. And one of them at the top is Oprah. If Oprah is removed, it's a sign that it's like we've lost Berlin, we've lost Leningrad, we lost Hanoi. In the battle, you lose her, that's it. And it sends a message out to everybody else. They won't protect her. They won't protect her. Now you're going to ask, why Oprah? I don't have time for that. Why are there these people? I have no idea. In the entertainment, not just black, but predominantly Tyler Perry, Oprah, go down the list. And now, all of a sudden, I don't know why. Why now? Because of this new medium. Here comes this thing. When they first heard Bob Dylan changed everything. And they yelled at Albert Hammond. They said, he's horrible. How many man? What's a man on the hand? They said, this is the worst. You've lost your mind. He goes, no. I'm telling you. Because at first there was this, Dylan was doing like, John Henry, weird folk music nobody cared about railroads and whatever. But they knew it, and it blew everything up. Bob Dylan told people, you can write your own songs. Oh. How many times you want to hear John Henry or whatever it was? Phil Oakes and that. I mean, that's nice, but I don't want to. Anyway. Michael rode the boat. Who gives a damn about Michael riding? Why did he ride the shore? And anyway. So all of a sudden, there's a new thing called podcasting. Podcasting. Who are these people? They come out of nowhere. Joe Rogan. Would you have picked Joe Rogan to be as big as he is? No. Why isn't Joe? I don't know why these things are. I don't know why. Were the Beatles really that good? No. You were told they were that good. And there was a lot of also stuff behind them. That's a different story. So the other day, there was this guy named Shannon Sharp. The black community is completely 14% of the population, which is enormous. And white America says, okay, all right, okay. Look at the way these people talk about this stuff. I don't know what they're talking about. Look at their clothes. Diddy, and the teeth. Oh, please. Then he's walking around with their ass hanging out. Gibberish. I don't know what they're talking about. That's what white America does. Who is this Shannon? Whatever. Let them talk. We're over here in the adult table. They're into that black thing. That's what white America thinks. They say, dismissal. Oh, and they're crazy. That awful rap music. Same thing with Dylan. Same thing. Who listen? Greg Allman said rap is short for crap. Remember that? They do this. They don't understand it. Oh man, I'd put my money there in a heartbeat. There are people who come along and they realize it. That's it. That's it. That's it. That's it. Okay. So first came Cat Williams, and he destroyed everybody. He talked about something in the African American community. By the way, I'm just going to say black community because it takes too long to say African American. It's just black. In the black community, there's a very serious conservative core, a kernel there. You can say whatever you want. People don't recognize this. Do you know that during World War II, do you know who the Americans, the American military used how the Americans used as one of the most important connecting pieces, if you will, to the war effort? The mafia. They weren't called the mafia. They really weren't called that. It wasn't. They had to have a name yet. Vito Genovese was an absolute patriot. Oh my God. They also hated Mussolini and other reasons too. But they recognized this is it. I told you this during the nascent period of prohibition. The Carrie Nations and that Amy Temple McPherson and this. Well, I think she was more of a evangelical, but the women's temperance units, the anti-drinking folks, guess who they aligned with? Guess, the Klan. The Klan. Now, were they racist? Not really, but the Klan said, we got to do something about this prohibition. Why? Because black men are going crazy. And they always talked about this earthquake-like nuclear powered, how do I say this? Raw, sexual, perfervid, volcanic that black men had. And we got to keep that down. So the Klan said, well, if it's liquor, let's keep that down. Hey, what are you ladies about? We're for stamping out liquor use. You know what? Maybe we have something in common. Different angles, but nonetheless, that's it. Happens all the time. It's not that politicians make great strange bedfellows. It's the fact that we have similar things in mind, but not really. Speaking of the OSS, post-OSS, post-CIA, going after communism, who was it who had? We were after Castro. Who else was after Castro? The mob. Santo Trafficante, Carlos Marcello, everybody. We worked hand in hand. OSS, from the days of Johnny Roselli and Blackjack, Wild Bill Donovan, and all this stuff. They said, we'll work together. We want to go in and free Cuba. Why? Because they stole our assets. And Bugsy Siegel was right. Bugsy Siegel says, don't put your money in Cuba. Put it in Las Vegas. You don't know what's going to happen. Oh, come on. Batista's one of ours. So they wanted to go in to supplant Castro. CIA wanted to go in and supplant him because of who he was, because of his Russia connection. So you had two people who had this one thing in common, but they were really dissimilar. Organized crime and the CIA, yeah. The Klan and white women, Baptists, yeah. Reefer madness. What was the thing about reefer madness that drove people crazy? What was it that motivated people to turn on marijuana so much? Because it empowered that savage sexuality of the black man, the devil weed. This is historical. So right now, there's this thing going on right now. Monique is absolutely throwing down going after Oprah, as did Cat Williams. And now it's becoming cool. And you could say, wait a minute, that's just some entertainment. No, it's not. Do you think Joe Rogan's just some entertainment? Do you think so? Did you ever think that Johnny Carson was just some entertainment. Anybody who can command that many people? And see, but no, and what they're gonna do is they're gonna throw Oprah under the bus because there are a couple of things she did. First of all, she was picked. Remember Phil Donahue? We were talking the other day, right, honey? Phil Donahue was basically the man, and she came along and right. Sorry, time to go, Phil. Remember when they turned on Phil, especially MSDNC when he was against the Iraq War? Get out. Oh, it started to change then. This is when the old lefties realized, wait a minute, who's in charge here? Ah, Oprah. You're going to be our linchpin. You're going to be it. Oprah was so smart, she could convince you she was slim. Remember, she lost weight. She was in that low pro. She lost weight for like a week. A week. I don't give a damn about the weight, but about the weight. But to her, it was absolutely. This is something that she's never been able to. She had a pretty rough time, really rough time with her own sexual abuse and that sort of thing. And her whole life is a fraud. If Gayle King is not her betrothed, her love, which is nothing wrong with it. For the love of God, say it. And this poor guy, Stedman Graham, what is he? He's not a beard. He's not even a whisker. He's nothing. He's this sock puppet. This poor guy they used to drag out, and he had absolutely no self-respect. Everybody said, would you stop doing this? This is my step. Stop it. Then she says, I'm Weight Watchers. That didn't work so well. People are saying, and when's this weight supposed to work? Then Ozempic comes along. There you go. Hey, wait a minute. Did you lose weight because of this or that? The whole world is a fraud, but she doesn't care about it because she's Oprah. She doesn't give a damn. You're just some piddly whatever. Why does she have so much money? I don't know. What did she do that was so great? I don't know. What, her show? Sally Jesse Raphael had a show. Hell, even Jenny, what's her name? Jenny, remember that Jenny? What's her name? Jenny Craig? Not Jenny Craig. Jenny, whatever her name is. Jenny, you know what I mean. She had that thing where the gay guy shot the other one. Anyway. So all of a sudden, there she is. Boom. And she steps on everybody. And here's this Monique. And Monique, I would not want to mess with her. She wins the supporting actress 2010 for Precious. She picks up the phone and says, by the way, listen, Monique, we'll let you know I'm going to be having your brother on. The man who sexually abused you, your brother, I'm going to have him on my show. Okay. What? First of all, you what? What do you want to do that for? Anyway, go ahead, fine. And then she says, I just want to let you know. And if you don't want me to do that, you let me know. And he said, thank you, sister, all that stuff. Okay, fine. Well, guess what? Oprah turns around and not only has her brother, but has her family on. And basically tells her, yeah. And then Tyler Perry, that's another one. Oh my God. If there is a God, one day, that world of Tyler Perry, that's one. We don't have time for that one. We don't have time. That is the story of stories. And if you have any indication, any inkling, any connection, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Because as much as I love most of the people, when it comes to the real dirt that goes on, they don't. You think Vivek Ramaswamy knows any of this? No. But if you don't know what's happening, if you don't understand why this is critical, why all of a sudden they're going after not just Oprah, not just Tyler Perry, not just Steve Harvey, not just a bunch of black artists that no. These are the hand-picked handmaidens of the shadow government, Illuminati. Well, if you like that word Illuminati, I don't think it's not Weishaupt in the Bavarian circle. But if that works for you, if that's your shorthand, the people in charge of everything, the people who bring us this Russophobic war in Ukraine, the people who are allowing the borders, the people who want to change, who want to bring us central bank digital currency, They're all a part. And one of their divisions is entertainment. And some of the foot soldiers and handmaidens of these people are people like Tom Hanks, Jimmy Kimmel, the usual useful idiots who are dupes. Sparky, ladies and gentlemen, joins us and says, give the Boondocks another chance. The second episode has a trial of R. Kelly for urolagnia. Ooh, I like this. Kelly's defense attorney is voiced by Adam West. You may be able to relate to the prosecutor's frustration. Oh, I know what you're talking about. That's interesting. It's just, for some reason, I appreciate it. I'm just not a cartoon. It's okay. I'm the only person who spent really Family Guy, Simpsons. I don't think I ever watched an episode of The Simpsons. I'm not a cartoon. I like the one about the tour bus one. That's okay. I just don't. The R. Kelly story is, deeper than you can imagine. Oh, yeah. Here's one for you. Want me to wake your mind up? You want me to blow your mind up? This is what I love horror. And horror, the real horror is what happens to regular people. Real horror. Here's from Missouri mom, 26, is charged with baking her newborn daughter to death in an oven, quote, after mistaking kitchen appliance for infant's crib, leaving tortured girl's clothes melted to her diaper. How do you like that? How do you like that? You want to talk about this? And by the way, one of the things you have to recognize, if you want to be a part of this, if you want to be a part of what we're doing, you've got to understand human behavior. But you've got to go out and you've got to tell people about this. You've got to, if you do not have X, if all of us were to be mobilized to say, we're going to tell the rest of the world what it is that we're thinking, the world would be a better place. We can't just keep this information on. Make people sick with the truth. Tell them what the truth is. It's that simple. I can't explain this. Sparky says, if you find the Boondocks offensive, endure it, and you'll be rewarded with insight into the subject you now speak of. There's even an episode with Tyler Perry type character. Sparky, I don't, with all due respect, and I love you madly, and thank you for your courage. It's not offensive. It doesn't even get close. You don't know about Tyler Perry. You don't know the story about Oprah. You don't know the story about Madonna. You don't know. I'm telling you, it doesn't even come close. It doesn't even remotely approximate the real horrors, the stuff that we wish we could tell you. It's nothing. It's child's play. That's for children. And if it brings somebody to the, great. If it brings somebody to the horrors, great. Do you really want to know what is going on? And listen, anything that works, if it's a cartoon, if it's this, if there was a chance, and I'll tell you what, and I think that Cat Williams may not like this but if somebody were to sit, do you ever see Cat Williams, by the way, when he spoke with Larry King? It's one of the best interviews ever. And I would love to talk about something. And Cat would have to not speak as Cat Williams. And he may not want to do that. I remember the first time as a young man when we heard Dusty Rhodes, American Dream, the Road. Remember that this was a guy who has a lisp, who made a lisp cool. Greatest professional wrestler ever. Had a lisp, fat, just stole the black, baby, this Blacks loved him. Whites loved him. Spoke with a lisp. Gonthole, go death road. And people would, he made lisping it wasn't a handicap anymore. Okay. First time I ever heard him speak, he said, well, thank you very much, Gordon. You know, the character of the American Dream and Uvalde Slim and the Midnight. Right. What? Who's that? That's Dusty Rhodes. That's not Dusty Rhodes. Did you ever hear this? Did you ever hear Hitler speak in a normal tone? Remember that one famous recording of Hitler in Finland or something? It was in a train dining car. He was interviewing. Somebody wired this, and you heard Hitler speaking. He had a real baritone. He sounded normal. This is the one who says, "That's the guy I want to talk to." He's not screaming. He's only as well. You know, the Russians do have a lot of tremendous military. So believe me when I'm telling you this. If I ever meet you, I will turn you on to things that Mrs. L and I know that will, oh my God, you can't believe this. In fact, it's what McLuhan said. Remember what Marshall McLuhan said? Little lies are very hard to keep quiet. But big lies are easy because of your incredulity. If I told you the amount of children that are sold into slavery here in this country, you won't believe it and you'll reject it because you can't conceive of the fact. You can't conceive of people having children to sell into slavery. You'll say, it doesn't make any sense. I can't handle that. So it's not true. People don't want to hear anything about 9/11, anything that even approximates somebody giving a different order, because you cannot understand that. How could somebody in this country do something knowing that other people would be deliberately killed? And I'm saying, does Hiroshima get you? Well, that was war. No, you don't understand human behavior yet. Sparky says, of course, there's Cat Williams, brilliant. A pimp named Slickback character in the Boondocks as well. It's way ahead of its time. It's not exactly a kid's cartoon. Okay, fine. No, fine. Listen, I'm not arguing with you. Please watch this. I go to my side. I don't need that. I mean, that's okay. That's okay. Believe me. It's like watching Romeo and Juliet, the Zeffirelli movie, and reading Shakespeare. you can, I mean, you see what I'm saying? I'm not dissing it. Please, I beg you. I want you to understand. It's wonderful. Please, I just don't. I don't. No, the R. Kelly thing is different. But the thing I want to ask Cat Williams is simply this: Black people have been sold out by Black people since day one. Your enemy certainly has been white. There's no doubt about that. But the Quislings, the people who would sell you out, from Al Sharptons to Jesse Jacksons to anyone, not Dr. King and not Malcolm X, but these latter-day versions who come in and are bought off. Bought off. Al Sharpton, bought off by Bloomberg. Did you ever hear Al Sharpton when Bloomberg was mayor? Never heard a word from him. How much, Al? Shut up and go away. All right, that's fine. Just buy him and shut him up. I used to hear stuff from the music industry. People, Jesse Jackson, there, Jesse's out there. Got to pay for this. All right. This is classic protection. This is what Tommy Lucchese did. This is what Three Finger Brown did. This is protection. You don't want any union problems, do you? You don't want anybody breaking these windows, do you? You don't want anybody hurting the cars. You want to hire us so that nobody, if people think that their cars are going to be damaged, they're not going to come to your restaurant anymore. So we will protect you. Well, nobody's threatening the cars. They will now. This goes back to square one. And there's always been this desire through eugenics, when you release a mosquito that's a eunuch into the biosphere, if I can feminize and destroy the Black man, again, who is it? There's this, this mandingo, this almost mythical, the strong Black man. So what do? We bring in Tyler Perry. Dress up, Medea. You wear a dress and you wear a dress and this one. Wait a minute. Wait. Do you think this is by accident? Do you think that all of a sudden there's this? Come on. I'd love to sit with Kat. Love to say, let's go deeper. Let's talk about the destruction, not only of the black man, the black family, the black unit. Do you think that crack, do you think that the introduction of crack, not so much heroin was, but there always was heroin. I remember one time I knew a guy years ago, he's dead now, but like in the 30s, they were doing cocaine and it's been around, but not like now. Heroin almost decimated the black community, but nothing like crack. Nothing. And what else is happening now? Fentanyl. We're getting it back on a back note. Now here's the story. If I could go before Black America and say, listen, come here. We may have had nothing in common, like the Klan and the Women's Temperance Unit, but we are going to join forces to stop this group of people that wants to undermine the natural selection process and the natural progress of this country. And we need to work together. Let me stop for a second. Because today I believe, from what I'm hearing, I hope it's not, but it's the last day for this special from preparedwithlionel.com. Listen carefully. When the economy collapses, will you collapse with it? You can feel it coming. All signs are there. With it comes financial disaster, tight budgets, and sacrifice. So plan for the worst with the best. My Patriot Supply has helped millions prepare, and they'll help you too. Hard times take years to recover from. So make that first year easier with their first 1-year emergency food kit. Get it now with $700 in savings at my website, preparedwithlionel.com. Sealed inside ultra-durable packaging, these delicious meals last up to 25 years in storage and provide over 2,000 calories every day. That's over 2,000 calories every day for a year at a special price of under $2,000. This rare emergency food kit deal ends this week. You won't see it again soon. So protect yourself, protect your people, protect your family. Start preparing with My Patriot Supply at preparedwithlionel.com. Free shipping including. That's preparedwithlionel.com. One more time. preparedwithlionel.com. There we have it, my friends. By the way, just put a link up to my private channel. I spent some time on this as well. Let me also remind you, and for the longest time, and I'm going to be proved right. I told you about Gavin Newsom. Now, how do we know this? Well, a couple of reasons, a couple of things. First, we know, and I've been telling you for the longest, and I love telling you I told you so. Oh, God, I love telling you. I have a good friend, Anthony Cumia. Anthony Cumia is one of the most brilliant. He doesn't know it. He doesn't know it because he hangs around, I think, some of the most monumentally unfunny and just stupid people. But listen, it's a free country. You can do whatever you want. But he is one of the smartest people. And a while back, I told him years ago, I said, listen, there's something called geoengineering. He said, chemtrails? I said, no. Chemtrails is the conspiracy theory term. No, this is geoengineering. And he fought me on this. And he showed me a picture. He said, here's a picture of a B-52 or whatever it was, a B-29, World War II. Look, you can see the contrails. I said, listen, you can look up and you can see, if you see a little bit of a, yeah, there's contrails. I never say contrails don't exist. You can see them every now and then. Do you ever see a jet? And there's like there's this little one, well, see, by reference, a 1-inch trail in the rear of the plane. That's okay, but it doesn't stretch out and spread and dim the sun. Jesus, there's a difference. If you can't tell the difference between that, there's no hope for you. Anyway, make a long story short, whenever I talk to him, I did the other day, I said, Anthony, remember when he goes, I know. I said, I told you. You didn't listen to me because it was your incredulity. How could they be spraying something and nobody knows it? Nobody stops it. Nobody. How could they be allowing children to be this can't be. How can humans be? Remember what I'm telling you. The number one demographic of children in child trafficking is 0 to 2. 0 newborns. No, I can't. So what you do is you'll say, I'm crazy because you can't handle this because of your incredulity. You're incredulous. You can't do it. So when this thing happens, I told you, I said, Joe Biden is not going to be the nominee. He's not. How is that? How is it going to happen? I said, well, he's either going to get COVID for some form of it, he's going to hit his head, or something where he says, I don't have my fastball. That's their phrase. They love this. And I'm not going to risk our country. I always promised myself that I would never get in the way of progress. And if the people of our nation need somebody, blah, blah, blah. And they told him, that's it. It's over. It's done. It's like they did Jimmy Hoffa. You're not coming back. And Jimmy Hoffa said, no, you're not coming back. Jimmy Hoffa didn't get the message. Joe Biden does. Joe Biden's tired. He's 81 years. Don't forget, Alan Dershowitz is 85. And Alan Dershowitz is, I think, sharp as ever. He may be wrong or right, whatever. So don't give me this 81. 81 is nothing. I'm sorry. Mick Jagger is, stop it. It's not his age. Notice how in the mainstream media, they always say age. Sparky says, my cousin went to school with one of Dusty Rhodes' kids. My cousin and uncle said Dusty was a great guy. Oh, Virgil Riley Reynolds. Greatest? I want you to listen to his Hard Times. Let me see if I can find this for you. This is let me get this for you. Dusty Rhodes. I think it's called Hard Times. Hard Times was, where is this? Hard Times. You don't know what. Wow, they got these damn. Oh, here we go. The Hard Times promo. Yeah. Well, it's a short, but. I'll give you one of them. Yeah, here's one. I'll give you this one. Yeah, Steve Austin and Dusty. Steve Austin very good too. See, nobody got professional wrestling. They never got it. They always thought it was kind of stupid. And this is the way. Watch. I haven't. I think this is the one. Dusty Rhodes says, hard times is when you work 50 years in a factory and they fire you and give you a gold watch. That's hard times. Dusty Rhodes knows hard times. Son of a plumber. You're not going to. It was the most incredible thing in the world. It was brilliant. And that's what and what professional wrestling taught me when I worked for years with Dusty. I knew Dusty kind of tangentially, but Gordon Soley was my mentor. Bobby Heenan, we were all like this, and it worked. And the idea of the, you see, Gavin Newsom, this is his moment. And I told you, going back to what I said. Now, why this her memo? I don't know. I don't know why you needed a DOJ prosecutor to say, I think he has cognitive decline. Gee, do you think so? Do you think? When Mitch McConnell's face froze, you have to be a neurologist. No, I think something's wrong with it. You mothers know something. When you look at a kid, you go, something's wrong with him. Do you ever have your dog? You take your dog to the vet, something's wrong with him. Why? Because I gave him the toy, he didn't tell me. You just know these things. I don't know the name of it. I don't know what it is. Well, it might be some type of ischemia. Okay, fine. I don't know. Something's wrong with him. We don't need this. But for some particular reason, under this mythical fiction, because remember, and if you must understand something, mainstream media from somebody sent me a picture of Fredo Cuomo. He is so gone. He is so bereft of anything even remotely resembling. This is the biggest clown. I cannot believe that somebody who is so devoid, so absent, so minus not a dram, a dram really, but an ounce, an ort. That's a great word for a speck of something, an ort of food, a molecule of self-respect. Have you seen this assemblage of the island of misfit toys? Everybody, this collect, you name it. I just can't believe they're going after Tucker Carlson. Anyway, and by the way, Tucker was, oh God, pure wrestling. Heel baby face. Remember, everything has at least two sides. Everything. A line has two sides. It is this side of the line and that side. A point? No. But a line, yes. Everything does. There's a line. You have to have contrast. You wouldn't know what I got this wonderful, great, this hot sauce group. And, Reapers are good and this and that. But you wouldn't know about anything if you didn't have a line, if you didn't have Tabasco. The beginning of your Scoville unit. You got to have a line. You got to have comparison. I told you about Gavin Newsom. Gavin Newsom it doesn't do anything for me. It doesn't matter. This is the guy that people love. First of all, I'm going to say, okay, folks, everybody talk about Gavin Newsom and talk about how handsome he is. Just say it. Don't worry about it. Just say it. Just say it. I can tell you anything. One time somebody sent me one time, I was going to be on some show and they said, send me a bio. I said, all right. So I sent a bio. And they said, well, anything more? So I made this thing about how I'm a model. No, I'm a hunk. They call me a hunk. I wrote this up. So-and-so magazine, news is hunk. And I put this quote, just like here in New York, they say, New York's best diner. Who says that? I don't know. So I just said I was a hunk. I just said it. I just tell people I was an underwear model. But anyway, all I know is simply this. They're going to tell you this. And they're going to tell you, just like they're saying, it's age is a problem. It's not a problem. It's not age. But they're going to tell you that because they get together and they get the memo. Everybody from CNN, CNBC, MSDNC, all of them together up to Kimmel, this, that, Fredo, Cuomo, all of the usual suspects, they get this memo, other than the two conservative nations, Newsmax and the other one. Those are, and Newsmax is dying for legitimacy. They're dying. They're so close to, but there's always but you got Greg Kelly. Okay, well, maybe that'll work. It's okay. Maybe not. I don't know. There are some things in life. Do you ever see that weird, like in front of a tire store? Do you ever see that weird hot air thing that wiggles back and forth? Do you ever see that? Whatever that cold air thing is that goes. Why does that why do I want to go? It gets my attention, but it doesn't earn my respect. Sparky says, Sabby Sabs thinks that Kamala may be setting up to step in for Biden, and that's why she was put in the spotlight defending Biden on his memory. Oh, come on, Sparky. What? She's first of all, Sabby Sabs, with all due respect, we're not talking. I mean, good. I don't want to say anything, but God bless her for trying. God bless her. But I got to tell you something. There's something about people who spend their time commenting on what other people are saying. Look, Kamala Harris is a vice president. No shit. What is she supposed to say? Oh, you're right. Oh no, you're right. You're right. I've been telling people about Biden for. Come on, of course she's going to say that. Democratic donors have had it. She's at 24%. With all due respect to Miss Sabs, come on. I can see Kamala and Newsom as latecomers in the primary going against one another, and whoever wins, chooses the other one as V. No. Too much convoluted. No, they want to get rid of Kamala. Don't you understand? He wants to start anew. They are tired. They don't want anything. They want to get away from this Biden thing. They want to start new. Put your money on Gretchen Whitmer. You can laugh all you want. I don't care whether you like it or not. She is, and don't give me this bullshit about it's too bullshit. Well, we need a black woman. You don't need a black woman. What is this? Affirmative action quotas? You don't need a black woman. You don't need a black woman. You don't need it. You don't need. You need somebody who's a black man. When two white men are going to stop this. This white man and the black woman was disastrous. Disastrous. The big money people were screaming at that. Sparky says, I can see Kamala and Newsom as latecomers in the primary going against one another, and whoever wins chooses the other one. Did I say that already? No. I'm sorry. I think I got that. No. They want her out. And plus, if Newsom is going to win, he's going to need his own message. Get rid of her. Nobody wants. Jesus, are you listening? Are you reading the polls? The big donors, the big people, the people who run the Democratic Party. And by the way, they're not Democrats. They're looking at the numbers and saying, no. I don't want any of this. And don't give me that Michelle Obama stuff either. That's crazy. Listen to what I'm saying. Let me try this again. Gavin Newsom is going to come forward. He's going to lie to you. He's going to say we have to secure the border. We have to do something about crime. Even though, and you're going to say, but wait a minute, what about his state? No, he's lying to you. That's the rib. That's the angle. That's the way it goes. What do I have to tell you? It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. This is critical stuff here. Now, Trump's not free. Trump's not out of the woods by any stretch of the imagination. You may like Trump. A lot of people detest him. And the Republicans, a lot of people say, is there anybody else? He might be the only one available. No. Kamala Harris is going to do something where she's going to say she's going to get a position as maybe a college president, which is weird from vice president. But Eisenhower was, I think, before, obviously, but he was president of Colombia, have her ambassador, have a VP, do something, boards. She does something. She doesn't want this. People, nobody in the Democratic Party wants anything to do with Kamala Harris. She's a joke. They don't want Biden anymore. You believe me, they don't talk about her. And she's got to say to the last minute, I'm going to say whatever it takes for me to maintain my position as a player, as a stalwart in the organization. She is not going to do anything. She's not going to do anything but be a party player. Of course she's going to do this. Of course she's going to do this. She's going to say nothing but this. She's going to say, yes, of course, yes. Joe Biden, I work with him every single day. And I'm telling you right now what this man does, the energy, we talk every single day, the mental acuity of this man. Of course she's going to say that. Sparky says, that's how they'd sell the notion to Kamala. Now how would it actually come out? Sparky, they're not going to sell her anything. They're going to tell her, get out. She'll say, okay. You don't sell her anything. She doesn't have any say in this. It's not subject to her approval. You're out. Fine. You want to make money? Oh, yeah. I'm out. See ya. I don't need this. She never wanted this in the first place. She couldn't win one state. She was going to drop out. She was at what, 2%? Why they picked her, I have no earthly idea. Nobody will ever understand this, but they never knew she could be this bad. Let me tell you what I think. And I'm going to tell you something right now, and you're going to laugh at this. How you look is so critical. So critical. Okay? If Janet Yellen tried to run for me now, they said, no, who is this kind of short, fat, waddling, white hair? No. But Treasury or Fed or, oh, it's great. Yeah, absolutely. There were people who thought that Kamala Harris would appeal. They didn't really, I think they thought, believe me, I've seen this before. And media and others, they say, oh, that's a good idea. Yeah, she'll work. Yeah, let's have a team. And this guy has a good morning show. Let's team him up with somebody. Why? Well, would be twice as good because, after all, people in media are fungible. This guy's good. Let's give him somebody to pair with. Why? Because some idiot in the programming division wants to be able to say, I made a decision. People do the stupidest things you've ever seen. Sparky says Kamala speaking up on Biden's behalf certainly didn't help Biden, but she was spotlighted anyway. No, she had to say this. Of course it helped him. It was neutral. What if she just said, you're right. You're telling me this guy's batshit crazy. He walks around the other day. He wet himself the other day. In fact, there was a trail of urine. She's not going to say that. She's not going to say anything other than, I am a soldier. Rachel Maddow the other day was called into support, and she even said Joe Biden is a good candidate because he can ride a bike. It's the same. Jesus, do you not they all that's why Democrats are so good. They don't veer. Republicans, well, you got Vivek over here, you got Chris Christie over here, you got Liz Cheney over here, they're all fractured, they're all over the place. Not Democrats. All for one and one for all. They're the three musketeers. Of course she's going to do this. It doesn't matter. Had she done anything but remain 100% behind Biden, it would have been a disaster. Even she's not stupid enough to do that. Of course she's going to do it. It doesn't matter. Look, let me see if I can explain this to you. Vice presidents will lose elections. They don't cause them. Nobody's going to vote for somebody because of vice president. Let me say this again. Nobody's going to say, you know what? I wasn't going to vote for Gavin Newsom or Mitt Romney, but did you see who his vice president was? When was the last time you voted for a vice president? This is one of these fictions that people say all the time that doesn't make any sense. They just say it. Nobody cares. Vice president? Who is it? William Nance Garner says it's like a warm bucket of piss, and they changed it to spit. Sparky says, I don't think Kamala does what she's told, so they have to trick her to keep her from making a big stink. She's not going to make a big stink. She's one of the smartest people. She understands her own limitation. She is a political, like everybody else, a political whore. I don't mean that in the classic sense. She is bought and sold. Mike Pence did it as long as he could. Everybody does it. Pete Booty Giggity, my favorite, he's just gone. They just cut him loose. And everybody, you think Fox would say, Booty Giggity, watch? No, they just go away. She's not going to put up a stink. Do you know if some big money person comes to her and her husband and says, let me explain to you. Do you know what Siberia is? Do you? Do you know what we will do to you if you put up a stink? You don't have a constituency. What stink are you going to put up? What are you going to do? What? Go on Shannon Sharp show? Maybe. Are you kidding? She knows exactly. She's a dutiful handmaiden to this collective. She does what she's told. You know who else is? AOC, the squad. They do everything they're told. Stand by for a second, my friends, because we have to talk about pillows. Well, it is time yet again, my friends, to hail and salute our great friends at mypillow.com. And if you use promo code Lionel, you'll get a free gift. No purchase necessary. Yes, I know, a free gift. It's a tautology, so sue me. But first, please listen. What are we talking about here? Down comforters, flannel sheets, Giza Dream bed sheets, My Pillow 2.0 sheets, slippers, percales, towels, quilts, bedspreads, mattresses, mattress covers, mattress toppers, linens, kitchen towels, bathrobes, name it. Literally name it. Items to help you luxuriate and relax. And they're monster sellers. Slippers, my slippers. That's right, slip-ons, moccasins. Think about it. What do they do at My Pillow? They make things real soft and plush and comfy. How perfect. Here's the link. mypillow.com promo code Lionel, or mypillow.com /Solidus or Virgil /Lionel, or call 800-645-4965. And watch how fast Mike answers the phone. mypillow.com promo code Lionel. Simply and absolutely the best. Sparky now says, hang on. Kamala could have kept her mouth shut. Did you forget that option? All she said was, she just said, yes, Joe Biden is a great guy. No. Kept her mouth shut. What do you have to say? I'm not going to say anything. Oh, that's beautiful. Kamala, say something. Say what we told you to say. No, I'm keeping my mouth shut. No, you're not, Kamala. No, you're not. Say what we told you to say. Okay, I'll say it. Keep her mouth shut. Can you imagine that? No comment. What? No comment. She is so unnecessary, it's not even funny. The only thing she could ever do was to say something stupid or not answer the question. Don't complicate this. Don't complicate this. Don't make it deeper. This isn't chess. It's not even checkers. It's not even, I don't know what this is. This is Go Fish. This is the easiest. There's nothing to this at all. The question is, they are moving down, and so watch, pay attention. Look, where are you going to get your news? Look at Drudge first. Look at Drudge. Very important. Right off the bat. Shock. Trump tells cheering crowd he would encourage Russia to attack NATO members for not paying dues. I got to read more of this, but did Trump say that? I don't know. MAGA chants, F Joe Biden. Okay. All right. And your point is? The Don mocks Haley's husband for serving in the military. Okay. This is desperation, folks. Nikki, say it to my face. Okay, this is done. They have nothing. Look at this. Super Bowl bet, biggest in history. Super Bowl, NFL in black and white. Most watched TV event of all time, ? Total unmitigated horseshit. They are telling you what it is. They're not reporting it. They're telling you. Now look at this. Top left corner, Drudge. Look at this. Mental lapses by Biden and Trump spark questions. They're trying their best. To pull Trump into this. It's not going to work. This is desperation. Hillary Clinton called Joe's age legitimate issue. Carville, not accepting Super Bowl interview is a sign. Do you have any idea? This is what? CBS is Super Bowl CBS, right? CBS? Yeah, I think it's CBS. Every president, remember when, who was it? Even Obama interviewed Bill O'Reilly. Bill O'Reilly, who was a jadrul, but even every president, this is kind of like a, what do they call it? A layup. It's always It's agreed to. Don't make it. This is not the time. He's turning that down. Turning it down. They routinely hide Kamala because she's bad PR. Oh, I think so. But she's also, she's just irrelevant at this point. Nobody's talking about her. Nobody. She's with the booty gig. She's in witness protection, WITSEC. She's just somewhere. Believe me, nobody is interested in this. Nobody. Okay, I think it's CBS. Yeah, Super Bowl on CBS. Okay, right? Is that right? Super Bowl on CBS. Okay, CBS. Okay, now listen to me carefully. Do you know how easy this would have been? What kind of softball questions Joe Biden would have gotten on CBS? On CBS? Can you imagine the question they would have asked him? What kind of ice cream do you like? Do you like Breyers? Or are you more of a Ben and Jerry? Do you like more of a chunky style? Or do you like kind of a smooth? Say what you want. I think vanilla, if done well, Breyers makes a great vanilla. Vanilla, I think, has been maligned through history by calling it kind of like vanilla, meaning anodyne and unimportant. But I think deep down, I think, an ice. Did you ever get that brain freeze, Mr. President? Oh, terrible subject to bring up. You ever had that? I like ice cream. Yeah, I like ice cream. There's something so it's there's also, you got to melt it. It can't be too frozen, can't be too soft. It's got to be just right when you see that scoop go across. Isn't that something? Ice cream parlors. Did you ever like an ice cream soda? Oh, we're out of time. Thank you very much. That's what it would have been. It would have been absolutely done. It would have been the simplest thing ever. They could have pumped him up with Adderall, B12, whatever he needs. He could have been during this. They could have waited for him to say, okay, now, because when they hit him with the Adderall, it peaks. You go, okay, I'm ready to go. I'm ready to go. That's all they would do. Breyers Vanilla Bean is the best ever. Absolutely. We could have talked to him about that. But even that, can you imagine Biden for 2 hours? Oh, and listen to me. Do me a favor. Look, I know you don't want to watch the whole interview but please promise me you will read the transcript. The transcript is critical. Tucker and Putin. Read the transcript. Read the transcript. Read it. Go to Tucker Carlson Media, TCM, whatever, whatever it's called. Just read it. Read it. It's fantastic. You'll get a different perspective. Me telling Americans to read. I know. I've got high hopes, but that's the way it goes. All right, so that's it. So, will you be watching honey, will we be watching the Super Bowl today? I'm not. What are we going to be watching? We'll watch you. I don't know. What about the halftime? Who's the halftime special? Listen to this. Who is it? Who? Usher? Usher. That's it? I don't know. Some surprise guest, but I'm not really. You think Taylor Swift is going to be playing? Performing. Huh? Never. No. Why is that? She says no. She's not going to give it away for free. She's more valuable when they cut to her in the bottom. Taylor is not going to give it away for free. Boy, quote, I like that one. You're right. She's more valuable when they cut away to her in the box going crazy. She's a genius. What's Taylor Swift going to do now that she said vote for Biden? You can laugh at this all you want. This is why Monique, listen to this. If you don't want to read, if you don't want to hear don't listen to the interview. Read the reviews. Go to Black African American hip hop. Go to their rendition and interpretation of what's happening. I'm sorry, you have to do this because, quote, white media kind of plays it now. No, what does this mean to this particular substratum, this demographic? The Republicans should be going after blacks, gays, Latinos, Not trans, gays. They're forgotten. Gay and lesbian. Lesbians are completely forgotten. Completely. All of the, have you noticed when a woman trans becomes a man, nobody cares. But if a man becomes a woman, wow, that's interesting. Leah Thomas. By the way, you know why women never convert surgically to male to try to slip into the NBA? Because they suck. A woman cannot play against the NBA. A woman cannot. So that's why the NBA said, go ahead, come on in. You can't do it. Remember what John McEnroe said. If Venus, Serena Williams or whatever, Venus, I get them confused, were to be a tennis player, she'd be like number 700, and people went crazy because it's true. Okay? So thank you. Thank you for your insight. Sparky, you are a most fascinating debating partner. The Brad, thank you as well. Remember something. Keep it simple. Look at the obvious. Don't make it complicated. Don't put yourself in the position of trying to make this thing any more complicated than it is. And remember something also. If they can bring down Oprah, if Oprah is exposed as the shill, as the apparatchik, as the operative for this new world order, whatever these people are called, then the entire lie is exposed. And if you think I'm exaggerating, you're missing the point completely. You're missing the point. So anyway, we're going to be back tonight at 7 for a non-Super Bowl party. What do you say? For those people, I really don't. I'll watch a little bit of the highlights. Okay. I just have I don't have any interest in watching football. I know people who love football. They have all of the games and all of the channels. One time we went to this place in Brooklyn. Oh my God. I thought I was going to die. It was every show, every game on. It was like, one looks exactly like it. I don't care. I don't understand it. I don't get it. It's not that interesting. Now, highlights are great. That's kind of interesting to see, especially when somebody does something extraordinary. The longest punt, the longest kiss, the longest pass, the longest reception. Okay, fine. Or when there's a screw up where somebody gets their leg, like that Joe Theismann thing where his leg was twisted and contorted. Here we go. Beating the dead horse. Sparky says, but Usher was on the episode where a pimp named Sidekick was a marriage counselor. Okay, there you go. I like the way you say marriage consular. This is like from the consulate. Listen, I think it's great. Sparky, you've sold me. You've sold me. I'm not necessarily interested in the interstitial. I'm interested in the bigger story. I couldn't. Usher, I'm sure he's great. Is Usher big now? I have no idea. He's part of the chosen. Oh, part of the chosen, the acceptable. Now, what I would do is if I ran the station, I would want Black America. You tell me who you want. I want the most radical, the one that people say, this is the. I one time heard Fitty talk about various rap stars. And I think my favorite is KRS-One. KRS-One is, to me, if you could take virtually our framework and put it in a singer, is KRS-One. Don't forget the Super Bowl halftime is sponsored by Apple. CSAM on their iCloud. Super Bowl halftime is sponsored by Apple, which allows CSAM, child sexual abuse material, on their cloud. And by the way, next time Mrs. Elder and I are going to debate one, here's for you. What is it? WhatsApp? Or not WhatsApp, a TikTok? Or what is it? No. What is the one that says they're not social media? Snapchat. Listen to this. is saying we're not social media. What? We're not subject to this Section 230. No, don't, because we're not social media. Well, what are you? Well, we're not social media. Well, what is it? Well, we're just not. It's like going to a restaurant and say, what is this? Chinese food? No, it's not Chinese. General Tso's chicken, fried rice. This is Chinese food. We're not Chinese. Well, what is it? Well, we're not Chinese. Well, what the hell do you call this? What is it? It looks like Chinese to me. Everything beef and bread. This is Chinese. No, it's not. Yes, it is. No, it's not. That's what Snapchat is. This is going on right now. Because where they are going for your children is through social media. Listen to what I'm telling you. Mrs. L's been saying that forever. Don't forget, follow her at Lynn's Warriors on Twitter. X, Lynn's, Lynns _Warriors. And Lynn's Warriors on YouTube. Listen to what she's saying. There is such an ersatz bunch of fugazi, synthetic, diluted versions trying their best to even compete with the information she knows. She's forgotten more about this. They're just Johnny come latelys who all of a sudden say, hey, how many times can I say pedophile in a sentence? Do you like that? That's great. Hey, Elon, I said pedophile. Hey, there you go. What the hell does pedophiles have to do with this? What? We're talking about human trafficking. I'm talking about the trafficker, not the person the trafficker sells to. Hello? When they went after El Chapo never used the drugs. Forget it. Sometimes you got to say to yourself, you know what? You'll try. I don't want to overstay my welcome. We love you. We will see you tonight, my friends, at 7 p.m. Remember, question everything, and it's all a work. Everything except me and Mrs. L. See you tonight then. Have a great and glorious day. Don't forget, sign up for this. Subscribe to this channel. I got stuff coming up for you. So comment as you see fit. And remember this, the valedictory, the sayonara. The monkey's dead. The show's over, Suya. Da-da.